I don't know if this book is going to be for you if you had like a normal childhood. I kind of feel like you're going to be disturbed. Did anybody with a normal childhood like this book? Let me know. I am so excited because we are starting a new book today. I'm going to be reading Big Swiss. I don't remember anything about it, so I feel like my slate is pretty clean. And I'm just excited about, just the feeling before you dive into a story, not knowing what to expect, but knowing that this is a pretty popular book. It's either going to live up to the hype or deeply disappoint me. The risk adds to the thrill. So let's see what the heck it's gonna bring us. Okay. I need to remind myself what the heck is going on in here. I picked up this book in my TBR for 2025 that I picked up at Barnes & Noble. The description really intrigued me, but I can't remember what the heck I was intrigued by. There was something sexual about it, I think. Something that I knew was quirky, so let's remind ourselves. Okay. Quick summary. A brilliantly original novel about a sex therapist transcriptionist and her wild affair with one of the patients. Oh, okay. I tried to do the whole like pink aesthetic, very comfy light thing, and then I couldn't functionally read the book. So I decided to be functional and boring. Anyway, we are a few pages in, maybe like we are 10 pages into Big Swiss, and I am already a fan. Also, LOL. LOL at my bookmark being a lottery ticket. Like, the most random things become bookmarks. Like I have bought bookmarks from small businesses to support and been like, maybe because I'm supporting I'll actually use it. My bookmark has not moved from the day that I bought it. It sits next to my books and does not get used. And like, there's no reason for me not to use it. I just put anything nearby in the book. That didn't matter. Okay. So far, we're introduced to Greta, who is listening to Big Swiss. She becomes infatuated with his newest client, a repressed married woman she affectionately refers to as Big Swiss. Okay, so Big Swiss isn't even her. Big Swiss is a person. She has access to Big Swiss because she is transcribing a sex therapist session where we are getting to know Big Swiss. And I am slowly seeing why Greta is fascinated by Big Swiss. So far, we recognize her by her initials, which are FEU. She's talking about her origin, how she had a really rough time growing up. As she's talking to the therapist, he refers to it as trauma. She doesn't refer to it as trauma. She doesn't like the term trauma. She rejects the term trauma. And then he says, okay, well, what would you refer to it as? And she says, I would call it a beating. And I feel like there are a lot of people that have very similar thoughts to her. Page 8, where they're talking about this. She says, can we stop using the word trauma? He says, why? I don't use what happened to me as an excuse. An excuse for what? Laziness or inertia. I don't use it to explain my own rage or aggression. I'm not attached to my suffering. I'm not attached to what happened to me. I don't believe it explains anything about me because I haven't made it into a part of my identity. I'm a worker, not a wallflower. I would never call myself a survivor. I'm not one of those trauma people. What's a trauma person? Some people can't stop saying the word trauma. Trauma people are almost as unbearable to me as Trump people. If you try suggesting that they let go of their suffering, their victimhood, they act re-traumatized. It's like, yes, what happened to you was shitty. I'm not denying that. But why do you keep rolling around in your own shit? If they stopped doing that for like 2 seconds and got over themselves even a little, they might actually become who they're meant to be. There's so many things about that you can just like, that is a traumatized person talking. But it's also very real because there are certain trauma people that take on the trauma that identify with their trauma, that use their trauma, that like find value in the things that they have gone through. in identifying with it, but I just found it very interesting to look at the opposer side and to find it very fascinating. I'm like, ooh, this is so exciting for me. So it's interesting because I feel like we're learning. I'm fascinated mostly by Big Swiss so far, but Greta to me is just kind of an onlooker that I am waiting to see what happens. But I think the main character is Greta, but the most fascinating person in this book is probably going to be Big Swiss. At least that's how it's coming off as. I'm so excited. I am already addicted to this book medically. I love the quirk that is coming with these people. I also don't know if the therapist's name is Om or Om. I have a feeling it's Om because they made a yoga joke, and she said it's a bit too on the nose, but I don't know. This is one of those books that I'm just like excited to get back to because it feels incredibly comforting, like a blanket. And I want to read more books that are similar to this. So if you have a book that is similar to this one, please let me know so that I can intake more quirky, silly literature that also has very real points and like real ideas to explore, like the trauma idea. Unfortunately, I have to make dinner so I can eat to survive, which is so unfortunate. Truly, it's so unfortunate. If I could just take the day off, and I guess I could just take the day off to read. If I felt inclined, if I felt comfortable, I would just take tomorrow off to read. But unfortunately, we have responsibilities. It just is so unfortunate when you have responsibilities, even on the weekend, and which takes away from reading. You guys. I waited from the minute that I closed this book just to get it open. Okay, we are only on chapter 2. I was so impressed with chapter 1 that I genuinely thought that I was like in this book, not remembering that I'm only 26 pages in. I'm 26 pages in. We'll see what pops up for me and what I take away on chapter 2. Okay, so I'm on lunch, and I've decided that with my lunchtime working from home, I am going to read instead of watch a TV show because I'm just so in love with this book, I think. I just think I'm in love with this book, and I just want to get to reading it, so I'm going to stop wasting time and just read my book. Okay. We have a section where Greta has met her ex-fiance, Stacy, and Stacy has a really thick New Jersey accent. What is that called? Like, they call it a specific thing. Massachusetts accent. And the way that everything is written out, it's kind of hard to understand because it looks like it's just straight up an Australian accent. I'm just having trouble placing it, so I just have to think about Peter from Family Guy, because it's very much the New York, Massachusetts, New England accent. I'll show a page, but basically like all of the pages make it seem like it's Australian. Car, they have it written out as C-A-H. Car. I just have to think about Peter because that's the only New Englander that I know. Okay. I don't know if I just forgot this, but she just detailed her past, and her mother committed suicide when she was 13, and her dad was in prison, got out of prison, married somebody else whose children died, not his dad's children, but the second wife's children died. She went on a rampage. He attempted to kill, and now she's talking about how she was raised by her mother's family because her father was not fit. This is crazy, and I'm only on page 52. This story, I'm like Of course, I think we're just waiting for her and Big Swiss to meet, but the chaos is, I'm living for this. Like, what the heck? Also, I have 10 minutes before I have to go back. I might finish this book. Whoa. I might finish this book much quicker than I finish every other book. Because I also want to get to Black Cake. And also because I just can't, like, I feel an insatiable need to just keep reading. So, hopefully I can get to this after work and just to be all about it. We'll see. Okay, hello. Oh my god, where am I? Okay, sorry, I'm just getting the book. Wait for me to collect the book. So, today is just one of those days that I came home with energy and I decided, let me do a little YouTube workout and then read my book immediately. And so, I have now until dinner, which is maybe in an hour if I'm feeling more energetic. So, we'll see what I can get done in an hour. But I think where I left off was she was talking about being kind of passed around between her aunts and uncles, and we're getting to know more about her as a person, but we just now have returned to her and Big Swiss, or her transcribing Big Swiss's therapy sessions. I don't know if this book is going to be for you if you had like a normal childhood. I kind of feel like you're going to be disturbed by this. You're going to be like, this is a weird book that is too out there. I took a break from reading because I thought of my dad, and he's getting shoulder replacement surgery. Intense, scary. The risks aren't that high, but like, and I like read that he's in pain. I was like, I have to call him. That's the thing about reading, is that real life in small ways of like getting distracted by like a text or a TikTok or I don't know, just like anything on your phone will take you out of the book. But then so will things like a surgery or like, I don't know, like when your husband is asking you a question that's like real. Haven't been reading for the past like 20 minutes, just gonna be honest. We get text. I was so intent on coming home and doing nothing but reading my book as much as I could, and then I remembered I put my book in the desk and then completely forgot about it and came home. And so now I have to go back to the office to get the book and waste valuable time. So right now, instead of reading, I'm just editing this here vlog that you're watching. And honestly, it's really hard to like keep up with the channel and keep up with videos when I'm in the middle of a book. And honestly, this is probably like a blessing in disguise, because I wouldn't have started this until I was done with this. Sometimes God gives you little presents, and until you take a look under the tree, you'll never find them. If you didn't catch what I said sometimes God gives you little presents, you just have to look under the tree and find them. We are on page, I think it's 121. I thought it was gonna be like 110, but hey, I just am gonna get into this. I'm not gonna put pressure on myself to finish, although I would like to be done with this in a few days. But one of my mindfulness practices that I'm trying to work through so I can be a better, more calm human being is just not putting pressure on myself for things that just do not need pressure. Like books is, I feel like consistently I'm like thinking, you're not doing enough, girl. There are people who are reading 100 books a year and you're reading 40. But it's like, no, that's just my journey and that's what I find value in. So I'm just gonna read my book, see what happens, enjoying this, enjoying my pace, enjoying everything about this. Me and my husband. I just know I'm gonna fall asleep, but if I do, I'm surrendering because I just cannot stay awake. Eek. The place we are currently at is Greta has met Big Swiss in person, and she didn't realize it was her until she said something that kind of was like identifying. She was like, oh my god, I know you, in her head, obviously. So then she lies to Big Swiss, and basically it's like, my name is Greta. Oh, it's Rebecca. And lies about her age, and basically is lying about her career, because if she admits that she's a transcriber for a sex therapist, then Big Swiss is going to put two and two together and be like, wait, are you my transcriber? Do you know about my life? So Greta is basically keeping all of the things that she knows about Big Swiss to herself, but she'll randomly just spill something very specific and on the nose to who Big Swiss is, and Big Swiss will be like, did I even tell you that? And then Greta will be like, yeah. But she didn't. This is crazy. Greta is actually incredibly manipulative, also has been through a lot of things that have made her that way. The instability of her life, moving around through her uncles and aunts, definitely has ended up for probably the worst of her characteristics. And Big Swiss to me is very interesting. Their relationship has moved from just simply being on a friend level to being sexual now. I don't want to give away too many details, because it's like I'm teetering this line between describing the book and making this video fulfilling in any way, shape, or form, and then also just like not wanting to ruin it for somebody who's wanting to read it. But I just will, I guess, reveal that. I don't know. Maybe I'll bleep out what I just said, because I don't know how much somebody needs to know about this book in order to want to read it. Then I also don't know if somebody wouldn't like me to give away so many details. I don't know. I'm trying my best. I've made the decision that I'm going to sit here and finish this till it's done. Luckily, it's only like 2 p.m. on a Sunday, so I have the time to do it until like dinner, which hopefully I get it done. It's only like 100 pages left. Although with the exception of the fact that I want to take a walk. I want to take a little break, take a walk, get myself into do something for myself, because for the first time in forever in the Midwest, it is finally 40 to 50 degrees. And that's concerning as it relates to the state of our world and to nature. The fact that it was literally like -5 the other day, and now it's 40 to 50. Oh, but it's great for me in the fact that I can get out and move my body and feel good about myself. So I'll be reading here for as long as it takes, but I am going to get up and go take a walk for a second. But I am intrigued to see where the plot's going to go. I feel like this book was initially solely about the character, and you were in it for Greta and Big Swiss, but now you're in it for the intrigue of, is Greta going to mess up and reveal everything? Is the boss going to reveal things? What's going to happen? I'm gonna go for a walk and then come back to finish the book. Oh, this is little Artemis. If you guys haven't met her, she has issues being held sometimes, so sometimes I can't show her, but this is my little baby. We'll go on a walk. I love you. My God, the Midwest is so ugly right now. It's so ugly, but it has never felt this delicious, and I'm gonna die. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna be back reading now. First of all, two insane things happen. One, Big Swiss and her husband have dinner with Greta. Can you imagine going to the dinner where you're the other woman and you're like looking at the full-time lover and the person you're cheating with? You'd have to cancel. Something that I don't want to spoil the book, but like something really crazy happens that you may or may not have seen coming. And I am like, oh my God. I wish I could have recorded my reaction to it, because it literally stopped me in my tracks. I was like, oh shit, oh shoot. And those are the best moments in books where you literally have to like stop and take a pause and be like, I have to process this before I can go on reading. And then you go on reading and you're like, this is such satisfying material. Oh my God. So we're going to finish it and see what the heck is going on and how the heck it ends. I'm on page 240. There's 300 and something pages. So we're almost done. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm on page 254. These people have known each other for 6 months. For 6 months. Greta is just re-traumatizing her. And this is I'm just now realizing. Even though I should have known from the beginning, the fact that she already lied about herself in the way that, what is his name? Also lied about himself. That's horrible. Greta is horrible. Something horrible has happened to Greta in her situation, and it's really hard to reckon with because she's the one doing horrible things. And now she has something horrid done to her. Oh god, I can't empathize. It's so hard to empathize. This is tough. Oh my god, something horrible is happening to Greta, possibly because of Keith. Oh god. Big Swiss just casually cut a check for $12,000. I know that she's a doctor and that her and her husband are doing well, but like, you gotta be like incredibly well to be just cutting $12,000. Rich people to me are so incomprehensible. $12,000. You know how long it would take for me to make $12,000? I just ignored a call from my brother because I cannot get distracted right now. I can't. So I'll call him back. I need to finish this. And this is the problem with like being at the very end of a book when you know you have like a couple, maybe like 30 pages left or so, is that I feel like I'm getting this fatigue of needing to finish it so quickly. And not just simply enjoying it for what it is. So that's why, like, I'm kind of happy I'm not a fast reader because I feel like being a slow reader forces you to intake things for what they are, as opposed to, I finished this book so quickly, thank God, it's over. Like, I want to sit and enjoy, but it's also hard because it's like, this is at the very end of the book. Can we finish? Because I'm getting fatigued. Okay. The girl just wanted to say something. What do you want to say? Meaningful. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm freaking out. Something just got revealed that was interesting and made sense, but is still a shock to the system, and I have to finish this. Oh my god. Last page. Oh my god, okay. I need to just reread the heck out of this. What the heck was just said? What? The donks approached and gently sniffed Greta's bare knees and thighs, inhaling. I don't know the ending. I don't know. But we are finished. Ba, ba, da, ba, 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 ba. I don't know what to make of that. I genuinely don't know what to make of that ending. That was really odd, but this is a really odd book. Let me marinate on this and I will come back with further thought. But I enjoyed it, just as the last couple pages to me were a little bit hard to get through because I was like, what is the point? But I feel like that consistently with a lot of books. I'm just gonna soak this in. I love the feeling of finishing a book and just being like, this is complete. We're complete. Okay. Ah!